there's some thoughts that people have that they might sound stupid, but they're not stupid if you start thinking about that. Philosophers, right? There is a discussion in one group of teachers where there is a teacher that says that time doesn't exist, that time is something that human beings have created to control people, you know? And I was thinking about that and said, okay. So I told the person that I really like that type of thoughts. And then if it is like that, that's right. At the beginning, God created human beings uh, with never-ending lives. Like human beings were created to live forever. That's right. Nobody wants to die, you know? And I said that then, if human beings were created to be here forever, that's right. The universe is infinite and there are so many planets because all those people who have died or died, oh God, I'm thinking about that. All those people who had died uh, wouldn't fit in this planet. So we should use the other planets for that. That's philosophy things, you know, that's philosophy and religion together. I know some of you don't care about that. I know some of you say, oh shit, this is crazy. But anyways, this is what we are just discussing in a teacher's group. So yeah, okay. Now, going back to, yes, Felix?
Profundo para nosotros, profe. Nosotros todavía no llegamos ahí.
Hola, profe.
Hey, Jensen.
¿Cómo le llama?
I'm okay today. You know, I hate Saturdays. I say it laughing, but I...
Gatito.
Okay, so next week we have the second exam. I know you saw it in the platform that we have the exam next week. And the exam is going to focus on the last two lessons, on the last two chapters. Oh, you guys. I have to mute you guys. Yeah, there you go. So the exam is coming from the last two lessons. We have the last lesson is pronunciation test. And the previous one was grammar test, I believe. Not sure. You guys can let me know. And so this is what the exam is going to be about. But don't believe so. Don't believe so only. Don't believe so. Because besides the pronunciation test, we have another chapter that I'm going to give you. But this is going to be assigned not Sunday, because Sunday is Father's Day and you know there is no time. So on Monday, I'm going to leave the questionnaire. Now, the questionnaire from chapter number 5, I'm gonna go back because maybe some...
Profesor, porque él es profesor.
Está intercortando.
God. What are you saying, guys? Okay, now, this is what I'm saying. Look, you have pronunciation test. This is what you have now, the homework that I left it like two or 3 days ago. It is in the platform. And that is coming for the exam. And also, this is the chapter that we are going to work with this week. I mean, from Monday on, which is the reading test. You see? So the exam is going to focus. 80% of the exam is coming from chapter 5, reading test, and chapter 4, pronunciation test. That's 80%. Then there is a 20% that is coming from the previous lessons, which is general knowledge that you should have already. For example, you are supposed to know what an item is. You're supposed to know the different items that we use in an exam. You're supposed to know which is the item that has more work to do. You're supposed to know what multiple choice is, how many steps we have on multiple choice. You should know what a distractor is, right? What are the steps to have good distractors? These are things that we saw it in the previous exam, but this is general knowledge that you should have already. And so when I say that 20% is coming from that, that's what it is. You also should know what vocabulary tests are made for. I mean, what is it what you test when you are working with vocabulary? You should know that. You also should know what grammar is. If a person tells you what is grammar, you're supposed to know what grammar is. We discussed that already. And as you study languages, that's easier for you. Let me know if you have a question. Well, before your questions, if you have any, the exam is going to be the same way as it was before. We're gonna take it through Edmodo. You're gonna have 40 minutes for the exam, and we're gonna take it Saturday at class time. So next Saturday at this time, we are taking the exam, if willing. Now, before I go on with the pronunciation test, I would like to know if you have any questions about the exam, about the platform, any question that you might have, so I can answer now.
Okay, teacher.
All right. So I see nobody has questions, huh? Whether you understand everything or you understood nothing. That's how it is. Oh, no, Delby is just lagging in. Okay. Let's wait for Delby before we start because he always has questions. Let's wait for him. Delby, are you there? Can you listen to us?
Sí, lo escucho, lo escucho.
All right. Okay.
Sí, lo voy a dejar así porque es que estoy con poca ropa. Déjame.
Okay.
Llegué otra vez. Estaba haciendo algo ayer.
All right. All right. So we are just testing here. We are on the moon and I'm talking to Houston.
Okay.
Houston, can you copy me over? I'm just kidding, guys. That's how we do it. Okay, Delby, we have exam next week. Did you see that?
Yes, I saw him and I sent my I don't know, the homework.
Okay.
I sent it already, yeah.
All right. The exam is coming from lesson, from chapter number 4 and chapter 5. We haven't given chapter 5 yet because what we are going to do now is that we are going to discuss chapter number 4. And then after Monday on, I'm going to leave the questionnaire for chapter 5. So chapter 4 and 5, you're going to have 80% of the material that you're going to see in the exam is from that. And then there is a 20%, which is general knowledge that you guys should know already or should have already.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so here we go. Now, guys, I'm just gonna ask the questions that maybe you feel, or maybe you did the homework already. And if there is something that you don't know, then I'm going to clarify here so we can have a clear idea of what pronunciation is. So we had, let me see if I can open this. Hold on. But you have the questions already. So I'm gonna ask the following question. When we talk about pronunciation, if you are going to test pronunciation, like if you're going to evaluate pronunciation, what is it what you are evaluating in depth? What is it? What is that?
Can I talk?
Yes, Delby.
Okay. Can be the vocabulary and the grammar. How is the pronunciation? How is the sound when talking? If understanding or not.
Okay. So Delby says sounds. Yes, that's true. Very good. Then, okay, we have Samantha. Then we have Oscar.
When
Yes.
yo,
Yes, two Samantha.
when we evaluate pronunciation, we evaluate the stress pronunciate the stress, the intonation, and the rhythm too.
That's true. So stress, pronunciation, sounds, rhythm, right? The way you speak. That's what we are checking. If you stress the words correctly or if you don't, you know, because look, stress is, you can say, for example, you know that Edison is the name, right? What about if I say Edison? You see, that's what we call stress. When you put stress in a syllable or in a word that doesn't have it. I'm going to give you one example of what stress and intonation does. Okay, hold on, give me a second here, because I'm going to show you how important. I guess you guys gave phonetics already, right?
Yes.
Yes, yes, we did.
Stress, intonation, sounds. Oh, who's calling me? Let's see. Oh, thank you. Sorry. Okay, so let me show you this. You guys know this already because you study phonetics. So, okay, look, when we are working with pronunciation, we are working with stress, intonation, sounds. Okay? Look, let me give you one example of how dangerous intonation is. If I say, I love you, right? And I say the same thing, I love you. Did you know that just for the intonation, I can change the whole meaning of this, like the meaning of the sentence? Because this can be an affirmation, but this can be a question. When you give the intonation to the wrong word or the wrong syllable, you can mean something very different from what you want. You can say, I love you, which is an affirmation, but you can say, I love you. You see, when you say that, I love you, that's not an affirmation. You're expressing doubts. You are just like, you're trying to question what the person says. So you have to be careful with that when you are speaking. And that's what we are testing on pronunciation. But not only that, when we work with pronunciation, there are many things that we have to take into account. Because remember, there are people who come from different countries, and you're supposed to know that in pronunciation, we are not looking for native-like pronunciation. No, we're just looking for standard pronunciation that anybody would understand. We're not looking for perfection in here. We're just testing what is understandable. So you have to take that into account. Many teachers focus on perfection. For example, if you say apple, apple or apple, many teachers tell you, no, it's not apple, it's apple. Listen, it doesn't matter. If people understand what you're saying, it's fine. Now, the problem with pronunciation is, I believe that's a question. I'm gonna give you the answer for a question. Hold on. Okay, yes, I'm not gonna tell you. That's the question number 2. All right, so here we go. So we said that when we test pronunciation, we are looking for how well the student uses the rhythm, the stress, the intonation, etc., etc. And the second question was, when is pronunciation important? You see, this is related to what I was saying. When is pronunciation important is the question. Let's see if some of you found the answer for that. Okay. Edison, what do you say?
Please, teacher.
Repeat the question.
When, look. I'm working with the questionnaire that I left on the platform. So the question is, when, oh God, I forgot is over there. When is pronunciation important?
I'm gonna give you the answer.
Teacher, can I say what I think?
Yeah,
teacher.
well, hold on. Edison raised the hands. I'm waiting. Edison, did you raise your hand or?
Yeah.
And me too.
Okay, Edison said yes, but you might have.
Okay, teacher. Okay. So it is important when interferes with communication.
Okay, you see? Yeah, very good. So, you know, if you go to the United States and you go to a city or a state where, for example, New York, like New York or Philadelphia or places like those that there are many people from different countries, if you go there, you will notice that perfect English that you think that is perfect is not. Like everybody will speak English in a different way. You have different accents. One person will say a word in 4 different ways. So basically, if you understand that, it's fine. But when there is a pronunciation that you have to ask, what did you say? Like you have to say, okay, can you repeat that? Then we have a problem, you know, because communication is being interrupted. It doesn't matter your pronunciation, people understand. If it doesn't hinder communication, that's fine. But if there is a problem understanding or having a conversation, then we have to revise pronunciation. Who sent me? Someone raised the hands also. Sorry.
It was me.
It was
But
you.
you said it already.
Oh,
It was for be understandable, yes.
oh, okay.
Yes.
All right. Oh, you see, there are more people raising their hands. I have Felix, and besides Felix, we also have, I don't know who that person is. Oh, Mirelis. Okay, Felix and Mirelis.
Okay, when is important the accent? The accent is important all the time because for that, the conversation would depend how you understand the resonance of the other person. I mean, it's important all the time.
So Felix says that the accent is important all the time. And Mirelis, what do you say?
I said that you said what I was trying to say already. I mean, in the question that when you said when pronunciation is important, you said that it was important for being understandable because, for example, as you said, if you go abroad to other country and many people are saying the same word different ways, if you understand, it's okay. If you don't understand, it's a problem because you're going to be like you can misunderstand what people are saying.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, that's correct. That's true. Let me see if someone else. Okay, I see more people. Let me see who it is. Matisa, you raise your hand too.
Matisa no está en línea, me toca a mí.
Matisa is there. I don't know what's going on with her. All right. So it is you.
Teacher, I'm here. Ocasito, dime.
Okay.
I think that accent is not the same. And there are, for example, if you speak to a Mexican, they will have a different accent.
Yes.
People from China, oh my goodness. People from India, they pronounce different. Even the Americans say that Dominicans have the tendency to have a better accent. Like when we speak, it's different. Now, we might have different accents, but if you say it, that is not really important if it doesn't interfere with the pronunciation.
That's true. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Then, guys, do you really know what accent is? Do you really know what accent means?
Of course, this is the stress in
because look,
the stress that you use in the word.
Stress in the
word. But I don't want to get you confused. Matisse is talking about one accent, and there is another accent in phonetics, right? So we have to be careful because accent has different definitions. The one Matisse gave is correct because that's the one that we're talking about, like we're talking about like being understood and things like that, right? In phonetics, accent is the force that you give to a word or to a syllable. In phonetics, in general aspect, when a person tells you that you have an accent, they're not saying that you pronounce words higher than others. Accent in this case refers to the influence of the mother tongue when you speak another language, because you are so used to speak English, to speak Spanish, because you are so used to speak Chinese that your organs are regulated for that language, for your mother language. Then when you speak another language, that first language that you have affects the production of the second one. That's what we call accent in general terms. I don't know if you get the difference between the two concepts that I'm giving you. One is for phonetical purposes, and the other one is for general purposes. Because if a person doesn't manage what phonetics is as a subject, then whoever tells you have an accent, you know what they mean, like that you sound different from the native people. And I have to tell you that the accent topic is very complicated because even native speakers have accents, like different ways of speaking. Like people from New York are not the same people, like it's not the same way that they speak in Louisiana. It's very different, you know? So that's what they call different accents. So that's it. That's what it is. So remember, it doesn't matter how ugly, how beautiful you speak. What matters is that you are understood. If people cannot understand you, then you have to revise. But because you can sound nice, you can sound nice, but what you say is not understandable. You see? Just like Leonel Fernandez. He speaks beautiful, but the people don't understand him. I'm just kidding. Oscar, do you want to say something else?
Well, teacher, talking about the pronunciation, I think so that if you have a bad pronunciation, you can change the context that you want to say. If you have a bad stress, you can change the context.
Yes,
because
that's true.
There are words that if you have a back stretch, the content change.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Truth.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Se da el caso, example, you go to Canada or United States, that you think that you are talking in English and they tell you after 1 hour, I don't understand what you said.
Yeah, that's right.
Eso
That's
pasa,
right.
¿tú te crees que no?
Yeah, yeah.
Eso
And
pasa.
sometimes you have to be careful that you find or you run into a very old lady or old people.
Aha, this is the situation.
But it's not that they understand that they don't understand your English. It's that they are kind of deaf and they cannot hear you.
Yeah.
Understand what you're saying. Yeah, that's where it is. All right, so let's go to the next question. The next question talks about something very important, which is oral repetition. We are in question number 3. What is oral repetition? What is that? Oral repetition. Wow. Jensen, what do you say?
Are useful for students who can, are useful for students who cannot read or write English because they can simply listen to what their teachers say to them and then research.
Okay. So oral repetition is designed for students who cannot read or write. It's not necessary. And Isakar, you want to say something else? If a person asks you very quick, what is oral repetition, Isakar? What would you say?
He already did, so he already said it.
No, I didn't say it.
No, Jen said.
Oh, what did he say?
He said that oral repetition is what teachers use so the student can, master pronunciation.
Okay, right. Imagine that we are your students, Isakar, right? We are your students right now. You're in this online and you want to do an oral repetition. How would you do it?
I would say the word, and I would.
No, but don't say what you would do. Do it. We are your students. Do it now.
Oh, you really want me to actually do it?
Yeah.
Okay. Should I explain in Spanish or?
No, in English. Guys, pay attention to teacher Isakar. He's teaching now, and we are going to answer when he says. Go on.
Okay, let's repeat the alphabet.
Okay.
A. B. C.
Okay, now can you do it with a whole word? Imagine that we are working with the colors, right?
Colors?
Yeah, the colors. Any colors that you might want to say. This is only an example.
Okay. Okay, repeat after me. The sky is blue.
Blue.
Today.
The sky is blue.
Today.
Sky is blue today.
Okay, very good. That's okay. So you see, guys, teacher Isakar was doing an oral repetition right now. So basically, for oral repetition, you don't have to, students don't need to write or they don't need to know how to read. So they only repeat what the teacher says. And this is something that we do it a lot in the classroom because this is part of teaching practice. This is part of teaching practice. Let me see, someone raised, hold on. Matisa, yes?
Adelante, estás en el aire.
Pero Houdini.
That's maybe from before, I guess. That's not from now.
Dime
Do you want to say
ver.
something else, Jensen?
No.
Okay, let me lower your hand then. All right.
Teacher, one
Yes?
question. That questionnaire is in the platform because I didn't see it. I was searching that and I didn't find it.
You didn't? Who saw it on the platform?
Oh, this one you are going to put it.
No, hold on, let me see. Did anyone?
On the platform, you need to say the date.
But I didn't see it.
I'm sorry, teacher. I was speaking with the microphone off.
Oh, okay. Give me 1 second.
Oh, my goodness.
Give me a second before.
Now, yes. Well, what I was saying is
before you go on,
I used
Matisa.
to to teach
Matisa has a delay.
children, but in a different way, not only repeating, like without teaching them any structure, any written structure, anything. So I would say, this is my notebook. Where is your notebook? And then they would say, oh, my notebook is here, because every day we practice the language. Is that what we're talking about?
Yes, we're talking about.
You can actually teach without showing any written structure.
That's what it is. Like when your students might be beginners and they don't know how to write and they don't know how to read, and just repeat what you want them to say. Very clear.
I'll do it in a more creative way, not just repeat what I say, but like using the language, you know, by themselves.
Yeah.
Like you have to give them, like I will play Simon Says and stuff like that, so they would be able to grasp the vocabulary, and then with time and inputs, they will speak without knowing how to read.
That's what it is. That's a variation of repetition. Now, let me give you the most common oral repetition.
Language that you want to use.
Yes, let me give you an example of the most common repetition or repetition that we do in the classroom. Today is the first day and you want to give the greetings. You write the vocabulary on the board about the greetings and you start reading. You tell students, okay, let's repeat after me. And then you start one by one. Hello, how are you? Good morning. And everybody goes repeating after you. They don't need to write it and they don't need to know how to read it. They just gonna repeat whatever you say. That's oral repetition.
Teacher, se está frizando un poco yo.
Yes, se está frizando. I hope it gets better. Let me know if you can hear me now.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. All right. So, Mirelis, you said that you didn't see the homework on the platform. Maybe you are not.
I mean this one.
Huh? Which one?
I was looking for and I didn't see it.
But look,
right now.
That one has 4 days on the platform already. I'm going to show you.
So let me see.
Look, check my, hold on, let me wait. Okay, now I'm in, you will see here on the, so we are teaching practice from this content, and we are here on, this is the week. Jesus, I put an N over there that doesn't go. July, okay, good. So we are here on July 20 to the 25th. And I guess I didn't put that over there, guys. That's true. That's what she's saying. Hold on. Oh God, oh, but guys, I am on the wrong one. This,
eso es práctica docente.
hold on. Yeah, you guys don't
what is happening to you?
What's going on? God, here we are.
Sí. Profe, usted está hablando de que...
Esa es la plataforma que está mala. Es decir, parece que
la transmisión está cortándose, pero nada, no entiende.
Profe, el vecino que sube esos gigas del internet.
No, yo tengo
se lo está
10,
robando,
No, yo tengo 10 megas. ¿Será que me lo están robando a mí?
Le están dando en la mano.
El profesor tiene un paquetico.
Ahorita yo reviso. Look, Mirelis, here we are.
Okay.
Look, here is pronunciation test.
Este mundo está lleno de ladrones.
There, look,
Let me
see. See? And this is until tomorrow, guys. Look, you see, some people did it already. Some people did it. This is from the 21, and the 21st, I put the homework on there. It's your job to revise and check. Let me see. Jensen, you raised your hand?
No, pero fue que la dejé levantada desde ahorita.
Okay. Okay. So that's it. You see, it is there. On Monday, I'm going to put another one in the new week.
Oh, yes. I found it now. I was on June, teacher. I was checking on June, that's why.
Well,
we are in July, sorry.
Okay. So, okay, let's finish with the questionnaire before. So remember, oral repetition is when the teacher says something and the students repeat it. They don't need to write, they don't need to read. That's it. Then we have, why is oral repetition easy? You said it already, guys. You said it. Because students don't need to read and don't need to write. They just need to
just need to repeat.
That's it. That's right, Oscar. They just need to repeat, nothing else. So then, in oral repetition, we have advantages and we also have limitations. Now, the question was, can you say one limitation of oral repetition? Because remember one thing. When you do oral repetition, you are testing, because look, if I say hi, Oscar, and you say hi, and I say hello, and you say hello, and I say good morning, and you say good morning or good morning, you see, there is a problem there.
Yeah.
Good morning, right? So I'm
because
testing
there are some words very difficult for pronunciation for the student.
Yes, so you are here testing. Remember that you are not teaching. What is the difference between evaluation and testing? Do you remember?
I can tell you.
Yes, Issachar?
Evaluation goes through the whole process. And testing is pretty much at the end.
Okay, you see, yes, that's what Issachar says. Issachar says that testing is not at the beginning, it's after you teach. So here we are not teaching, here we are testing, right? Imagine that you gave a vocabulary or you gave some sentences and now you want to test how well students articulate the words, right? So you start doing an oral repetition. But there is a problem with oral repetition. You know the biggest problem with it? That if you have 40 students in the classroom, what's the problem then? If you're working with oral repetition, what is the problem if you have 40 students in your classroom? Okay, let me see. Who raised the hand here? Okay, I have, okay, we're gonna go with Felix and then we'll go with Issachar.
The problem with the oral repetition when we have too much student in our classroom is that most of the time we wouldn't have the time for give the test to all of them.
Okay, that's if you do it individually, right? So you don't have enough time to test everybody individually.
Yeah.
And not only about time, it's about your health. Let me see, it's about your health. Imagine you repeating 10 words 40 times, right? So you're saying 400 words in 1 hour. Only on that. So you're gonna get tired and your throat is going to explode, right? But what about if we test everybody at the same time? What is the problem that we have then?
I can tell you. But
Yes, Isakar?
For me, I think like a teacher doing like oral repetition with 40 students is pretty hard to tell who's doing it right at the same time, like because they all talking at the same time.
Yeah, you see, you won't be able to distinguish or to notice which one is saying it right and which one is not saying it right. Oh, you can notice the people that are in the front. Students in the front, you can listen to them clearly, like the first row or the second row, but then the people on the back and the people in the middle, it is impossible for you to notice. So that is the biggest, okay, let's, Matisa, you raise your hand.
Yes, teacher. What I did with that, and I love how technology helps me in this occasion, is like I will send them a video with what I each of them for an oral exam. I'm talking to you about 44 people talking by 5 minutes. So I decided to ask them to send a video. When you talk, for example, in the group, and I have learned that the people who are competent, they shout louder and you don't hear. There are many people you don't hear. Now with the videos, we could do something different, and we could even ask the students to get together and work, and like that, it would be more efficient, depending on the classes we're teaching, because maybe if you are in the university, you want to make sure that your students are competent. But if it's in the public school, we will have to divide them in little groups, because you will never know if they are really mastering what you want.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's difficult.
Yes. What do you say?
Teacher, can I speak? Yes.
Yes. Someone
Teacher.
talked after Matisa. I don't know who he was.
Okay.
Go on, Oscar. When you finish, I'll talk about Matisa's part and then your part.
Teacher, I think that if you have a group of 4 students speak at the same time, you're not going to identify the good pronunciation, because one student can speak well, but the other are speaking bad. That is a real problem. For example, if you make a group and you say, okay, 3 are gonna speak together, it's difficult for the video, whatever you want.
Yeah. When you have many students in the classroom, oral repetition is not an advantage. When you have many students, if you have 20 students, for example, it's easier because you have time. You could have time to test individually when you have 20, but when you have 40, that's too much. Then Matisa says that through technology is good, because what she does is, and what I do too with my English conversation class, is that I give an assignation. I assign, for example, record yourself for 3 minutes, 2 minutes, do a voice recording. That's another example, and submit it. Then I can go one by one. But you know that this way we have enough time to correct, right? But when you are in the classroom over there, that you only have 45 minutes or that you have only 90 minutes, it becomes difficult to do that individually. So we should find other ways how to test students in a more efficient way. And when I say efficient way, I'm talking about saving time and doing a good job. That's what I mean. So then we have the sixth question that you had to talk about, constructive stress. What is constructive stress? What did you find in there? constructive, contrastive. That's a difficult word for me. Contrastive. Did you guys see anything about contrastive stress over there? Oh, I see. Arielis.
Yes, teacher, is by using multiple choice paraphrase, as we know, a sentence such as Jack just walked into the store can express different meanings depending on which word is stressed.
Okay, you know what? Let me show you one thing. We are here, right here. Check. I'm gonna take let's take something. Okay, Maria. Maria is talking to you. I put her in capital letters because I want you to see the one that has the stress, right? And then I'm gonna write it again. Maria is talking to you. What is constructive, contrastive, Jesus Christ? Stress. Look, sometimes you want people to focus on one thing. Hold on, my internet is telling me that. Okay, good. Sometimes you want people to focus on one thing in one sentence, right? It doesn't affect the meaning of the sentence, but it makes you focus on a specific part of the sentence. When you say, Maria is talking to you, right? Or when you say, Maria is talking to you, it's very different. You are focusing on you here, right? On this sentence, on you, but on the second one, you're focusing on who is speaking. What I mean is, on the first one, you focus on who Maria is talking to, right? And on the second one, you focus on who is talking. That's what we call contrastive analysis or constructive stress. When in the sentence, you pay special attention to one word or one part of the sentence. That's what it is. Oh, someone wrote something. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see who's chatting. Wait. Oh, Jesus. Yes, that is like intonation, Edison. Yes, that's what it is. It is like intonation. When you put more emphasis on one word, right? When you want people to focus on that, that's what it is. Like, for example, look, let me give you another one. You can say, I, that's the capital one, obligatory. I don't like candies, right? Or I'm gonna put this in small.
Alberto, excúsame que te interrumpa. Esto no va para el examen.
Yes.
Esa parte.
Todo eso va para el examen, lo estamos detallando.
Ah, no, porque yo creía también.
Eso va para el examen y también la lección que viene, que yo le voy a dejar del lunes, que es reading test.
Pero un examen saso, entonces.
No, porque solamente está enfocado en esas dos cosas.
Son 3 entonces, profe.
Y vamos a dar también tercer parcial de esa materia.
3 capítulos.
No, son solamente 2 capítulos. Reading test y pronunciation test.
Digo yo, al final van a dar también un tercer parcial de esa materia.
Sí, siempre hay un tercer parcial.
Bueno, está bien.
Okay, so I'm going to leave the I. I'm going to leave the I in small letter. Oh, it doesn't allow me. I don't know why. Anyways, you know, guys. Okay, so I don't like candies. Look, you know what the first one means? The first one means that Maybe you like candies, but I don't like candies. You see? I'm just trying to let people know that it is me, my person, who doesn't like candies, right? Like maybe you like it, maybe Maria likes it, maybe Sakar likes it, but I don't like candies. Then the second one says, I don't like candies. You know what this means? That I don't like candies, but I could like something else. I could like ice cream or whatever, but not candies. You see the focus on the sentence? First is on the person, and the second one is on the object, like candies. But Delby is wary about this, but Delby, this is not coming for the exam. Yeah. This part, because it's very difficult.
No, the thing I'm talking about is, you know, 3 exam is a little, you know, hard, but for me, because I have sometimes a lot of pressure with the work, you know, but it's okay.
You have 3 exams with me?
No, I'm talking about that you give it 3 partial, no? 1, 2, 3. This is the situation.
But Delby, we always have 3 exams. You guys have been.
Yeah, sometimes give 2 and 1 something like, you know, in the end, like easy or, you know, just too close.
Yeah, I know. But look, the general thing is that the university says that we're supposed to have 3 exams. 1, 3. And this is what people normally do. Like there's some teachers that they don't do it, but imagine, I'm going to ask you a question now because you are in teaching practice and you are in testing. The way we are giving this subject, we are doing it through questionnaires and through assignments. What would be the way to evaluate if it is not an exam on this case? If you guys are already giving me the questionnaires as works, if you guys are creating pieces of test as work, how could I evaluate you if it is not through an exam on this subject? Okay. And you know what? This is the most appropriate subject to evaluate through exams because this is testing. So you guys can take the exam and analyze how my exams are created. So you're learning not only from the classes, you also learn from seeing the way that you are taking the exam.
Yeah, that's true. You are recording this class today?
What do you say?
La está grabando para que la suba.
I hope so.
Porque que oye, yo estoy escuchando, pero se escucha entrecortado. Entonces, yo lo que hago es que agarro y como un ejemplo, el video está grabado y ahí uno se pone a analizar bien, al pasito, sin ruido, porque de día, mucho ruido, muchas cosas. Y a veces
sí, está ahí grabado. Yo voy a ver si lo subo.
Excelente. Yo estudio de noche. Yo me siento hasta las 12 de la noche y repaso. Yo hago preguntas y cosas porque me gusta ser responsable en las...
No te preocupes no te preocupes.
Y yo cojo presión, de verdad. Yo me presiono por muchas cosas porque me gusta que las cosas se hagan bien. ¿Tú me entiendes? No solamente con la universidad, sino con todo lo que yo hago en mi vida. Sí. Todo. Como que me comprometo, ¿tú me entiendes? Y ese es mi problema.
Sí. No, that's very good. That's fine. That's true. Don't worry. You can ask. So we're going to finish with reading aloud. Reading aloud. What is reading aloud? Those bikes are noisy. What is reading aloud? Did you guys see that?
When you read aloud.
When you read aloud. When you're reading high voice, right? When you take a piece of text or a piece of paragraph or a paragraph and you start reading as a student and the teacher is listening to you to see how well you pronounce words. And not only how well you pronounce words, also if you respect the punctuation marks because depending on the pauses that you do, if you respect the commas, if you respect the dots, then you're gonna sound different. Even in Spanish, when people read, they start reading and you don't understand what they say because they don't respect the punctuation marks. So that's very important. Now, I'm going to give you the answer for the number 8. One of the disadvantages of or limitation of reading aloud is that the student needs to know how to read. So this is not for beginners. This is for students who already manage reading, right? Because yes, Oscar?
Well, teacher, one advantage is that the student can listen by themselves. And they can see if they are pronunciation bad, the words.
Yeah, that's true. So they can listen to themselves and see if they are doing a good job or if they need to do better. Lisa?
I usually, teacher, recommend my students to do that, but I will send them a video and I will tell them to do it by themselves because it's too much time for us. It's like we're gonna die listening to everybody, you know, one by one. Imagine, I'm not only thinking about my job, I'm thinking about having 40 students in a classroom. That would be crazy, teacher.
Yeah, there is no time for that. That's a big disadvantage. Just like oral repetition, this one is even worse because because in oral repetition you have your rhythm as a teacher. They have to follow you. But here you have to wait for them. People who read fast, people who read slow, people who forgot some words, you know, that's crazy. That is crazy. Yes.
Please, me.
Yes, I see you have your hands up.
Yes. And one limitation is that I think is if you are pronunciation aloud at the same time with all the students, you can identify what the students are talking back, or what the students are pronunciation back. And the other thing is that if you do it one by one, you less much time.
Okay. So Oscar says that when students are pronouncing while they read, they can notice the mistakes that they make. And also when students are pronouncing, you as a teacher, you can correct them. Like, look, you can let them know, you don't say this word like that, you say it like this. It depends on how many mistakes the students are making. One very important technique that we should follow is that if you are going to test through reading aloud, the first thing you need to do is that you as a teacher, you read the whole text. So students listen to you. You read the text, you let them listen, and then you can start testing them. Edison, do you raise your hand?
No, I just want to say one limitation of reading aloud.
Okay.
Yeah, that they are limited to those who can read. That's a principal thing, I guess.
That's true. That's true. So, you know, if you have a student in the classroom that cannot read, be out of that activity, or it's going to be out of that evaluation. You know that you cannot evaluate that student through that technique, because then the student is going to flunk because he's not on the level of that type of test or testing procedure. That's what it is. So don't forget, Oscar said that when students are pronouncing the words, it's a good way to see where they have mistakes and we can correct them. Very good. All right. So guys, I'm going to, this is set. I'm going to put the new questionnaire remember that tomorrow is the last day for you to do this one that we're talking to. This one is number 4 because I made a little mistake on the, on here. Look, you see, I put that was number 3, but that is not number 3. That is number 4 actually, you see? So the exam is going to be focused on chapter 4 and chapter 5. Mainly 80% of the exam is coming from that. So that's what you have to study. If you, and then the 20% that we're missing is from general knowledge. I told you, vocabulary, multiple choice, what is multiple choice, what is an item, how many items do you know, which is the most important item, how many steps do you have in multiple choice, how many steps do you have in distractors. Those are general things that you're supposed to know. You don't need to study that because you know it already. So, and that's how we're going to work. So that's it, we finished. Let me know if you have a question now so I can answer you.
Maybe you got here that we cannot study a lot.
Which one, what was it?
I said, maybe God hear you that we don't have to study a lot.
Oh no, not the 20%, no. but the 80, yes. The 80 years.
Ah, the 80 years, okay. Bien, bien.
Yeah.
That sounds like a song. The 80 yes, the 80 yes.
The 80 yes. All right, that's it. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Okay, teacher, take care.
All right.
Ciao.